Hello, Internet. My name is Roro, and welcome to my channel. Today, I wanted to talk about a conversation that a lot of people have, and it's wanting to dismantle the current system that we live in America. You know, capitalism, our current government, whatever you want to call it. People identifying that there's problems with it, but not really having a solution as to what would be better or what to do next or how to move on past where we are right now because so many people are unhappy with the current world that we live in. This is just my perspective on what I think would be the best way for us to move forward as a people that live on the land that we call America. So, I actually am going to play a clip from a Twitch stream that I did recently where I talked about this. So, yeah, hope you enjoy and let me know what you think. I think the most important thing that has to happen is understanding that the new thing is going to come before the old thing or the current thing goes away. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like everyone is so ready to knock everything down on both sides, but there's nothing there for us when that's gone. And obviously there's a lot of problems with the government and just like the society that we live in. But like we can't live in fucking chaos either. And even the most radical people, if they're smart, they know that that's true. You know, like we have to just start building we have to just start pretending like that shit doesn't exist. Like making that shit obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Like people have to focus on building up their immediate communities and making their immediate communities self-sustainable. So it doesn't matter what's happening with the fucking government. You know what I mean? And if that's already all in place and then we're like you're gone, then everything will be okay. But if everything goes away and there's nothing in place already, there's nothing for humanity to land on. Or see, that's the thing is like America just has so much power over the entire world. So like anything that happens here affects the entire world. That's just how it is, you know? And it's not going to happen with violence. It literally can't happen with violence. You know, doesn't matter how many guns people are allowed to have in America. We'll never have more than they have. You know? So a violent revolution is never going to happen. It's literally impossible. And that's how people feel though. You know? That's what they feel like they want to happen because they're so frustrated. Frustrated is such a light word for the feeling, but everyone knows what I mean. Everyone knows that this shit is wrong. So they want it to go away. And it has to go away. But there has to be something else first. That's what I think. And I think that's a really difficult thing for people to comprehend. Especially people that don't want the current thing to fully go away. And this is why I talk to myself into a camera on the internet. It's not, and don't talk to that many people because I just feel very strongly about this shit, you know? But I just don't know if it's like if people a lot of times people aren't ready to hear this shit. On top of what I was just saying, my core belief also is that like the native people of this land should be the ones that are deciding what's happening with this land. And when I say that, people think, "Oh, so like you just want all the white people to leave America? They're all just kicked out?" It's like, "No. Like I would never speak on behalf of native people ever in my life. But that's not what native people would want, you know? Like and it's like even if there's like infighting or like disagreements within natives because like there's so many different native tribes and they're not a monolith, that's that's going to happen. But like that should be their decision. That should be their fight to have, you know? Like that should be up to them to figure out. That's what I think. But that's a bit harder to I feel like the idea of building up like a small community, that's a little bit easier of a concept to get behind. Cuz that's really what it is. All you got to do is ideally people would have their own communities, their own, however that is defined. Geographically, it doesn't even have to be just geographically. It can be on the internet, you know. Having a support network that's there. And that includes family. Yeah, peaceful revolution. It's quiet. It has to be just we have to just start now and just slowly build it. This doesn't need to go away before we start doing this part. I think that's the biggest thing for me. We just got to start now. And that's part of why I'm doing this shit is because I don't necessarily have a lot of like connections in my physical community right now. I definitely make a point to befriend my neighbors. And I live in a building with a lot of people. I know a lot of people in my building. I know people at all of the local businesses. They all know who I am. I make my presence like I interact with people like they're people, you know? The way I think about it is my life and the people around me's life benefit if we are all connected and we all know each other. And even like something like having each other's phone number. Like if something happens, you know what I mean? Like shit can go left quick on any scale. So it's like if you don't even know your neighbors, like you're literally on your own. That's the worst part about Western capitalism or just America. Everybody thinks they have to do everything by themselves. And I think that way. And there's some aspects of my life that I will always think that way. And to an extent, for certain things, that's okay. Like for art, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like I can be selfish as selfish as I want with my art. But in my daily life, I don't want to think that way. It's not right. It's just not how you're supposed to live.